We're seeing more of a kind of the northern half of this line moving more to the east, the southern half moving more to the southeast. Either way, it's still moving over a large portion of green country. The kind of area in question will be heading towards Peggs. So if you live in Peggs, Lost City, Gideon, Liberty, Lowry, Ellerville, or Scraper, you need to be in your safe space right now. Again, this is for portions of Cherokee and Mays counties. So let's take a little bit of a closer look. This is a no-brainer of where it's at. So we'll kind of zoom in a little bit more, and I'll reorient this, and we'll go to velocity data. Yeah, so likely we're seeing some rotation into Peggs right now. So again, near Peggs, Snake Creek, you're just on the edge of this. I would still head into your shelter if you can. Liberty, Lowry, Scraper, Ellerville, Moody's, you are in this tornado warning. Again, this storm is moving to the east at 35 miles per hour. I believe, Shane, you're still latched. And so let's take it from this rotation, and we'll move to the east at 35 miles per hour. We'll back this out as far as we can. Not too many. There we go. It'll be near Kansas at 6:42. So it looks like this rotation is starting to strengthen a bit. It's a little bit concerning as it's just now getting ready to move through Peggs. So hopefully you are in your safe space now. This is just south of Locust Grove, south of Snake Creek. Let me kind of go walk over to the monitor. Again, this is the area. I'll circle it, but just for some of the kind of highways that are near the area, just because it's difficult to see on this monitor here. So Highway 412 is to the north. That's where you see Locust Grove, Rose, Leach, and Kansas. So this circulation is south of Highway 412. Highway 10 is all the way to the east near Scraper and Ellerville. And let me actually just clear this off. Try to move this to the south to get a potential highway number for you. So yeah, that's where we're looking at near Peggs. That's the circulation of interest. Okay. So this is, as of right now, our only active tornado warning. Again, it goes until 6:45. It's just on the far western edge of Cherokee County, so it's got to move off to the east. So we may be sitting on this for quite some time. At the very least, this is going to bring in some very strong wind gusts into the Peggs area to the east. Let's look at some storm relative velocity here to see if that looks a little bit better. Right there, so then you can see the circulation. This is just to the north of downtown Peggs there, and it's continuing to wrap around. So this is a relatively strong circulation. Looks a little bit stronger than the one that looked like in Okmulgee County, right? And so again, folks in northern Cherokee County, we've got to take shelter. Let's zoom out. We'll give you a little bit more of kind of where we're looking at here, a little bit more of a reference point. So Gideon, you are to the south of this circulation. I'd still be in your shelter just in case. And Moody's, Ellerville, Liberty, Lowry, Oaks, you're right on the edge. I would get into your shelter. Scraper, Chewy, you're just on the edge. I'd be ready to act if you need to. And so far, this is the one area of rotation that we are concerned with for this tornado warning in Cherokee County, and it goes until 6:45. Overall, we've seen more of a weakening trend in portions of the line segment in terms of when we look at a damaging wind gust threat. I think our hail threat is very minimal now. It looks like it could have been a threat, I would say, earlier this morning, especially as storms moved through portions of Osage and Pawnee counties. But now we are still dealing with the wind threat and, of course, the quick spin-up tornado threat. So this is just north of Peggs. Let's go back to reflectivity. Again, we're going to be sitting in this tornado warning for a bit, so we can see this wraparound rotation on reflectivity, indicating this is relatively strong and likely some of the strongest rotation that we've seen in quite some time. Leach is just to the north. Oaks, Kansas, Rose, just to the north. Again, here's Highway 412. So that's the latest data moving out of Peggs near Teresita. That will be just heading your way now near Lowry. Again, 412 is up here for reference there. Snake Creek, Still, pegs, stay in your shelter. You're not free and in the clear yet. This is this leading edge, so if it's not for a potential tornado, it's going to be for those strong winds, heavy rain, a lot of lightning, and that's what we're going to be watching for. Eventually, this may move into Adair County, right, if it can maintain its strength. So that would head on east into the northern portions of Adair County, so we'll be watching for that. We'll zoom out a little bit because we have to take a look at the rest of the line of storms, right? This line of storms has at least been strong to severe in portions of green country throughout the early morning hours. This line started up near the Panhandle just before midnight and then quickly strengthened and moved east and southeast across the state. So far we only have one tornado warning active at this time for green country. This is for northern Cherokee County, so Tahlequah has been excluded out of this tornado warning, but you're just to the south. If it deviated and shifted a bit more southeast, they could reissue. Looks like the leading edge is getting close to exiting Ottawa County there, so heavy rain may continue over the next 20 to 30 minutes, but we'll see sort of a slowing trend. Heavy rain now moving into Grove and just north of Jay. That'll likely occur soon. We still have this severe thunderstorm warning. This is for portions of Muskogee County as well as into portions of McIntosh County. That goes until 6:15 for 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts. And then as we extend to the south, it looks like Oklahoma City is not dealing with any tornado warnings at this time, but that heavy rain and the threat for quick spin-up tornadoes and damaging wind gusts does extend south and east near Wetumpka. So overall, we are making some progress, right? The Tulsa Metro was just dealing with light to moderate showers, so the heavy rain threat is winding down. The wind threat winding down. We're not looking for a threat of quick spin-up tornadoes here in the Tulsa Metro, but now it's more of that leading edge that's pushing into our far eastern and southeastern counties. And we can spot this here far back. So obviously this is a pretty strong rotation that, it's maintaining its strength. We're going to zoom back in and take a look as we've seen some updated velocity data as we continue to zoom in. Again, this tornado warning is for northern Cherokee County and it goes until 6:45. And likely this rotation will continue to maintain its strength. So let's zoom in and let's see if there's any more information going forward here. So we'll zoom in on this. They're continuing the tornado. Okay, so they've canceled it for Mays. Makes sense. It's moved out of Mays County already. They're continuing it. We'll see if we get an updated speed. And we'll put some velocity data there. And so, yeah, it's still pretty strong, nearing the Teresita area and Liberty. This is moving, let me get you some more info. This is moving to the east at 45 miles per hour. Looks like we've got another tornado warning issued for McIntosh County. So remember, that's that line that we were watching that was severe warned down to the south. So we currently have two tornado warnings in effect, one for Cherokee County, one for McIntosh County. Let's get a timeline on this one here. So this for McIntosh County, it also goes until 6:45. And this storm is also moving to the east at 40 miles per hour. So it does appear both storms are moving to the east at 40. We'll kind of bring this out just a little bit. So it's this edge here that we're watching. This is the rotation heading up into Teresita. This is just north of Liberty. Pegs, you are in the clear now, but you're dealing with heavy rain still. You're dealing with very strong winds. I would stay where you are, but it looks like your tornado threat is now off to the east. This is now north of Teresita towards Lowry and could be heading up closer to the far northern edge of Cherokee County. Now, of course, that's what we're dealing with. Let's go back to reflectivity. We'll have to split our time in between two tornado warnings. So let's go back down and we'll kind of look for that next tornado warning. So this entire line is strong to severe at the very least. Okay, this is our new tornado warning for McIntosh County. It goes until 6:45. And again, we'll be watching for these quick spin-up tornado, the potential to continue over the next couple of hours. Storm was located near Stidham. Be watching for that. Let's change it if we can, maybe to the Fort Smith radar may help us a little bit here. Let's make sure this is working properly here. Looks like I might have lost it, so let's fix this back up here. Okay, Fort Smith radar, And because this may help us out somewhat. So we'll be looking for the rotation. This is lagging a little bit here. All right. Let's give it some time to, there we go, fix itself. Okay, so we have 2 tornado warnings. And again, one for Cherokee County. We've got another one for McIntosh. Both go until 6:45. I believe this thing has officially, okay, we're gonna do this over this way, and this is no problem at all. Let's take off the hand tracker. This will actually be easier to go. And we will do this way. Okay, so we have 2 tornado warnings. We'll reorient myself. Looks a little bit messy here, but this is kind of the southernmost edge. So if you will, Shakota is in the middle of this potential storm, potential tornado, as well as within this tornado warning, Texana, Fame, Brush Hill, Rentisville, Warner's just on the outside, Dutchess Landing, you are in the tornado warning as well. So just keep that in mind as we go forward. We will do a track. Just kind of do this whole thing here, and we'll go to the east at 45 miles per hour. So it'll be near the Shakota area at 6:13, Warner at 6:28, Weber's Falls at 6:41, Tamaha at 7:04. Remember, they had a tornado a couple years ago, and Sallisaw at 7:09. So 2 active tornado warnings. To me, the strongest one was near Cherokee County. So far, we are continuing the tornadoes warning, waiting for any updated information. Not seeing any at this time. So let's clear this out. And we'll go back forward. The severe thunderstorm warning does continue just north of the McIntosh County tornado warning. That's for Muskogee County, likely for 70-mile-per-hour winds. It's set to expire in 2 minutes. We'll have to see if they reissue that severe thunderstorm warning going forward. And then, of course, remember, we are dealing with this tornado warning. This was in northern Cherokee County. It still looks pretty strong, although maybe not as strong as it did look just a couple of scans ago. Yeah, we're still seeing some rotation there. That would be north of Liberty. So this is heading up towards Lowry. Again, northern Cherokee County, you want to be in your safe space. Liberty, Lowry, Ellerville, near Chewy and Oaks. You all want to make sure Highway 10, be in your safe space at this moment. We haven't had any confirmations of this tornado touching the ground, but this can at any time. So you want to make sure that you are in your safe space ready to go if it does. 2 active tornado warnings, a severe thunderstorm warning, and the strong line of storms continues to move through the area. Looks like there are some reports of several trees down in Ottawa County. Makes sense with the strong line of storms moving through that we saw up to our north, as we've been dealing with this line continuing to move through the area. Okay, it looks like at least some strong winds near Rentisville, Brush Hill. I would say this circulation would be right here just south of Brush Hill. This is north of Fame, just west of Onapa. This is Highway 69, Highway 266. Originally, the rotation was reported near the Stidham area, so we'll be watching along this line as it continues to track. Again, at any point in time along this leading edge, we could see quick spin-up tornadoes, damaging wind gusts to the like. So we'll have to keep an eye on this entire line. But in the meantime, we're down now into the McIntosh County tornado warning, where there was some rotation reported near the Stidham area. We'll also likely have to watch near Brush Hill. But folks near Onapa, Shakota, Rentisville, Shady Grove, Dutchess Landing, Texana, along I-40, along 69 and 266, we all need to be in our safe space now. Folks near Richardsville and Pierce, you guys are in the clear. So you guys are on the back side of that line. You're still going to be dealing with heavy rain. You're still going to be dealing with gusty winds. So just keep that in mind as we go forward. All right, we have Nakoma north of Jay and Tom in Catoosa. Let's pull in. Let me go back up there and see where we have Nakoma's stream at. See, because he would be kind of closer to, this is Nakoma's stream here. Okay, so we can't see too much there, but he would be closer to that Cherokee County tornado warning. Kyle, if that fixes itself, let me know. Shane, did you pull in Nakoma stream? Okay, so Nakoma is north of J, so let me kind of reorient the radar just so you have some proximity. Oh, it looks like we're seeing maybe some stronger circulation south of Muskogee, so we got to keep an eye on that. So he is north of J, maybe a little bit of rotation north of J. Let's go back here. Okay, so here's kind of a rough look at radar, at reflectivity. I mean, that's what we've been seeing all morning, right? A lot of gusty winds, a lot of rainfall, reduced visibilities as that line goes through. So just keep that in mind. He's in the thick of it right now. If he's north of J on Highway 59, he's in the thick of all that heavy rainfall. And there's likely some rotation starting up just east of 59, northwest of Dodge. Okay, so the tornado warning continues for McIntosh County. Our most recent update has this storm near Rentisville to Lake Eufaula State Park. Now it's moving to the east at 55 miles per hour. Okay, so it's picking up in speed. That's good news there. Let's go back and we'll do more of a wide shot. We'll reorient. If you're just joining us for the first time this morning and you want to get an update and kind of get your bearings straight, this is what we're looking at here. So we have this strong line of storms. We call this an MCS, or mesoscale convective system. All that is it's a strong line of storms that usually produces damaging wind gusts and also carries the threat for quick spin-up tornadoes. So we haven't had anything confirmed in the tornado department so far. We have had damaging wind gusts up to 70 miles per hour out to the west. We've had wind damage in Hominy taking out power. We've had some hail reports near Osage and in some of our northern counties. But again, we're losing the hail threat here. We'll be dealing with heavy rain, flooding, as well as, of course, the quick spin-up tornado threat. So we have 2 active tornado warnings at this time. We've got one in McIntosh County, one in northern Cherokee County. I feel like the one in northern Cherokee County has really maintained at least its strength. I don't know if it's increased, but it's maintained its strength. And we have an additional severe thunderstorm warning that's been extended through Muskogee County into southern portions of Cherokee County and western Sequoia County. So if you're looking back into Tulsa, that's just light to moderate showers. Lightning will still be a possibility though, so just keep that in mind. If you do head out, just be aware of lightning, and there's going to be some ponding on the roadways at the very least. Looks like as that leading edge heads into southwest Missouri, if you have to travel up north, that is severe thunderstorm warned. All right, let's get some updates here, and we'll take a closer look. It is nearing the end of our viewing area, right? So that's good news. At least the northern edge of this line is getting ready to push into southwest Missouri. So that means that's going to take it out of our viewing area, and eventually the far eastern edge will take it out. So we're getting to the end. I feel like we've been tracking this line of storms here in Green Country since about 3. And that continues as we're now just past the 6 o'clock hour, that is. This rotation may be tracking a little bit more, either it's been holding to the east or northeasterly a little bit. Right now that we're in Cherokee County here, circulation is near the Lowry area, close to Rocky Ford, close to Oaks. Scraper, you're next. This is Highway 10 extending from Scraper down to Ellerville and getting closer to the Cherokee County line. Potentially will be extended east. It's maintained its strength throughout all of northern Cherokee County. So if that does occur, we'll see this tornado warning be issued downstream into portions of Adair County, and it likely will keep its easterly direction and at least anywhere from 45 miles per hour to a little bit higher. We'll watch a little bit south, because remember, that's on our radar. That's why we have this tornado warning in Cherokee County. And then we'll go down to the south, because remember, we still have the tornado warning for McIntosh. Oh wait, this is a, let me see, I feel like we've got a new tornado. No, this is the same one here. Okay, perfect. So it looks like, maybe some rotation north of Shady Grove. We'll keep an eye on that. And then originally it was near Stidham that prompted some rotation there. So if we were to see any very marginal rotation, it'd be near Onapa, but I would say I'm more concerned with the one just north of Shady Grove. See if this looks a little bit different from some velocity data there. We switch that up. So I guess my two areas of concern, probably more concern north of Shady Grove and then just south of the Onapa area. But this entire line, as it does track east and southeast along I-40, it could produce 60 to if not 70 mile per hour wind gusts, could give us that heavy rain threat, and that's just something you don't want to be out and about, and especially on the roads as of this time. Looks like they extended the severe thunderstorm warning out to the east, so we'll get you some updated data on that. Their new severe thunderstorm warning is coming our way. But yeah, it looks like that rotation is tightening up a little bit. So it's not overly strong. It's not as strong as the Cherokee County circulation that we're watching. Here's another one. This is what I'm talking about. This entire line could have very small but strong circulations that we'll have to keep an eye on. So the new severe thunderstorm warning for Sequoia and Muskogee counties will go for 70 mile per hour wind gusts until 7 o'clock, and that's moving to the east at 35 miles per hour. There's a small circulation northeast of Delaware County heading into southwest Missouri. And then again, this is circulation. This would be east of Grandview Heights, southeast of Muskogee. This is not tornado warned, but it's something we're going to have to keep an eye on. This is currently moving across 351 and will eventually head over to Braggs and Pumpkin Center. But this is the new severe thunderstorm warning as a whole that may produce 70 mile per hour wind gusts. So this is more of a wind threat than anything else. But that rotation there, I've got my eye on that. So we might as well continue up north, right? Continue to follow this line to see if we can see any more rotation. We know we have this tornado warning. Looks like maybe it's strengthened a little bit. Let's switch around to see if we see any updates, if this loads. All right, let's see if we get some. I might have stalled the computer out just a little bit. Let me disconnect this and we'll bring this back. All right, so the data is taking a second to load it. If need be, there we go. So near the Scraper area, this is getting close to Highway 10 and just south of Oaks. Remember, this is the original tornado warning where we had to go more into of a tornado coverage was because of this. So it's already moved out of Lowry, moved to the east. This is now in between Oaks and Scraper, heading up towards Highway 10. This is maintained its strength across all of northern Cherokee County, so I wouldn't be surprised if we saw another tornado warning be issued to the east into Adair County, and we'll continue to keep an eye on this one. So folks near Scraper, folks near Oaks, near the northern eastern portions of Highway 10 in Cherokee County, you want to be in your safe space. Liberty, Moody's, you guys are free and clear. Pegs, originally why we saw that, okay? We knew that was coming, right? We knew that tornado warning was going to be extended downstream. So let's give you a little bit of a broader view. New tornado warning, and this is for northern Adair as well as Delaware County. So there's more of a northeasterly track, and that's why they've kind of added portions of Delaware County into it. So it's still moving to the east at 40 miles per hour, but it's been hanging tight to that northern portion. So for folks in northern Adair, now near Chewy, Dripping Springs into Delaware, Beckwith, Siloam Springs, Lake Francis, Watts, Ballard, and Chance. Highway 59 is on the eastern side. We all need to head into our safe space now. We haven't had any ground truthing that this is a confirmed tornado on the ground, but it has been maintaining its strength. It's been a relatively strong circulation that's been tracking east, I'd say, over the past 30 minutes. Originally, this tornado warning for northern Cherokee County was issued till 6:45, but it's starting to pick up some steam. So eventually, once it passes Adair County and heads into northwest Arkansas, it's out of our viewing area and we don't have to be concerned with it anymore. Okay, so remember we still have the tornado warning to the south. I just want to go up north here. I believe this was a circulation of interest, not tornado warned. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning, but this would be near Dodge and Southwest City, and then this is kind of the state line here for Southwest Missouri. So just keep that in mind. We do have our eyes on this circulation between Dodge and Southwest City. That is tracking to the east as well. That's likely going to hop state lines here within, I'd say, the next 2 scans, so the next 10 minutes or so. And there we go, it's moving towards state lines. Now, one more scan that'll likely put it into Southwest Missouri, and we may not be concerned with that anymore. But it's that leading edge that will spark these circulations. We've had some good low-level flow across green country, so that's been aiding in kind of turning that leading edge of storms and producing potentially these quick spin-up tornadoes. Haven't had any ground truthing or any confirmation, so we can't say there's a confirmed tornado or things like that. But that's something we're keeping an eye of going forward. Potentially another circulation that's just south of Tiff City, but that would be in portions of Southwest Missouri. And okay, that's northeastern Ottawa County. So let's reorient ourselves. Let's go back because we've had a lot happen. We technically only have 2 tornado warnings, as that one is originally moving out of Cherokee County and getting ready to move into Adair and Delaware counties, but we still have the tornado warning south into portions of McIntosh County, and we pointed out a lot of circulations that could potentially be tornado warned. So these are something we have to keep an eye on, but there's a look of it as a whole. So again, Tulsa and areas to the north and west, you're going to see your rain decreasing significantly. You are not in this severe threat at all. It's essentially from Ottawa County down into just western portions of Sequoia and into northern Pittsburgh. That's where the leading edge is heading. You're going to be dealing with at least 30 minutes to an hour of heavy rainfall, the threat for quick spin-up tornadoes as we have 2 active tornado warnings currently, and of course the damaging wind gust threat as we still have a few severe thunderstorm warnings for 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts possible, and that would be for southern portions of Cherokee and into northwestern Sequoia County as well. We'll go back and look at some of these circulations because that's why we're still in the mix of this tornado warning coverage. And again, once it passes your area, you allow the leading edge to just pass. You're going to be free and clear from the severe threat for the rest of today. And then we go back into the severe threat potential as we get into 10 o'clock tonight. So I wanted to take a little closer look now that we're getting into closer to the Fort Smith radar, maybe some rotation just west of Texana into Dutchess Landing. This is where I would kind of be concerned for. And then potentially into Warner. That's not tornado warned at this time. Let's go back to, okay. So here's my areas of concern. Between Texana and Dutchess Landing, this is likely still that same rotation that was near Stidham that continues this tornado warning now as it's getting into far southeastern portions of McIntosh. I'm also concerned for this circulation between Martin and Warner. It's not tornado warned at this time. That doesn't mean it won't be tornado warned in the next 5 to 10 minutes if it can maintain its strength. But that's likely going to slide southeast towards Gore and towards Highway 64. And this is Highway 40, right? So a big interstate that folks are traveling on. And you've got 2 circulations, one to the northeast, one to the southwest. So that's something we'll be watching as we go forward. Let's move a little bit farther to the north now. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a tornado warning be issued for that. Let's go up north, maybe at least some strong winds near the Braggs and Pumpkin Center area. I think we saw a little bit of circulation, if I could remember, some rotation here between Braggs and Pumpkin Center, but as of this time it doesn't look overly strong. So likely this storm would just bring potentially up to 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and that's for Pumpkin Center, Qualls, Pettit, Paradise Hill, Black Gum, Box, and Highway 10 Landing. So that's going to bring some strong winds your way as this continues to track east and southeast. And we'll go up. At least every time we go top down, we've got more cities that are being cleared. Okay, so looks like we're seeing some lightning with that, right? Maybe a little bit more lightning. So it looks like maybe this circulation is intensifying slightly. I'm looking for any updates here to see if we have any. Yeah, so this is what we're looking at here. This would be our area of rotation. Let's go back to base. And this would be right here. This one is now north of Chewy. So moving out of Cherokee County, right? This is east of Oaks, moving out of Cherokee County into Adair County, now north of Chewy. This circulation has maintained itself all throughout northern Cherokee. That's going to continue to track east with time and likely at least come close. This is Kansas is to the north, Beckwith, Dripping Springs. I believe that's 412, Highway 412. Moving from Leech to Dripping Springs. So eventually Highway 59 will be kind of in the path of this. Highway 412 could be in the path of this. So if you live near Chewy, Beckwith, Dripping Springs, Kansas, you need to be in your safe space right now. Let's go up north, because remember we saw still some circulations there that looked a little concerning, weren't necessarily tornado warned, but looked concerning to say the least. Okay, the circulation I was looking at that was near Southwest City, that has moved into Southwest Missouri, so that's good news. That is out of our viewing area. And then the one near Tiff City is out of our viewing area, and the one that was near Peoria, looks like maybe some weak rotation at the very least. This is southeast of Peoria. That's getting ready to cross state lines. So this is Missouri here, Seneca, Missouri, Racine. This area of rotation, not tornado warned, but there's a little bit of a circulation there that's going to track east and eventually kick out of our viewing area as well. So a lot going on this morning. We have this strong line of storms that not only can produce damaging wind gusts, it can produce the quick spin up tornadoes and of course flooding potential as well. Let's zoom out, because it looks like that leading edge is officially out of Ottawa County. That's great news. We finally have cleared our far northeastern corner, but we still have a long way to go when we look at this line of storms. So this still has to clear some of our far eastern and southeastern counties. We see another severe thunderstorm warning for McIntosh, Haskell, and Muskogee counties. That goes until 7, 470 mile per hour wind gusts. So we're seeing an extension here, and that would be this severe thunderstorm warning. So again, till 7. Just even if you live along this line and it's not severe warned, just have it in your head that this could easily at any point in time, even if it's not warned at this time, could produce up to 70 mile per hour wind gusts, could produce flooding rains where we could see rainfall rates at 1 to 3 inches per hour, and of course the quick spin up tornadoes. This to me has been the kind of most impressive circulation we've seen so far today. Even when looking at the Osage County tornado warnings from earlier this morning in between the 3 and 4 o'clock hours, this is definitely has been the most impressive. So let's go back. We're seeing a lot of lightning with this. This is still just north of Chewy. Okay, so it looks like, okay, so they canceled the one in Cherokee County. There we go. We saw the update there. No surprise. Leading edge is out. The circulation's out. Rotation continues northeast of Chewy near Beckwith and Dripping Springs. 412 here. 59 here, and again, this is maintaining its strength as it does track east. It's going to move all the way across northern Adair County, may clip into southern Delaware County, southeastern Delaware County, and we're going to follow this rotation until it gets into Arkansas. So we're going to at least have to stay on it for the next 30 minutes or so. It's a slow moving line of storms, so it's not going to quickly move on out. Bad news for folks who are sitting in their shelter and waiting, right? For folks near Chance and Ballard, Watts, Lake Francis, Siloam Springs. You're on the far eastern edge of this tornado warning, so hopefully you're in your shelter now and just camp out there for the next 30 minutes. Stay with us as we continue to give updates. Haven't had any ground truthing or observations of any tornadoes on the ground at this time or any observations served with this line of storms, but that could happen anytime, even if it's just a quick touchdown and back up. We're at least going to see some more wind damage in terms of trees. There's been some limbs down. And again, let's look to see how long this tornado warning goes. So this goes until 7 o'clock. So we're at least here for another 25 minutes on this specific circulation, but these are popping up all over the place. Looks like the severe thunderstorm warning for Cherokee, Sequoia, Muskogee has been allowed to expire. We have a new severe thunderstorm warning for Latimer, Pittsburgh, and Haskell for 60-mile-per-hour winds. All right, I just want to take another look here. Maybe some weak rotation. This is near Highway 20 near Maysville. I feel like that area has been in the line already. Okay, let's go south a little bit. Remember, we still have this tornado warning. There we go. Would be east of Texana. Okay, so this would be east of Texana, east of Dutchess Landing, getting ready to cross county lines. This tornado warning is continues for McIntosh County. Otherwise, that severe thunderstorm warning is for Latimer, Pittsburgh, and Haskell. And I'm just going back to get more information here. Okay, thank you. So, okay, we still have this tornado warning until 6:45. It's 6:37, so potentially less than 10 minutes. This doesn't appear overly strong, right? Not as strong as that potential tornado that we've been watching from northern Cherokee into northern Adair, but there definitely is still some rotation there. So I think what's going to happen is they're going to let this kind of leading edge and this circulation here outrun its warning, and maybe they allow it to expire once it does so. So I'm not expecting this specific circulation to see an additional tornado warning downstream. Doesn't mean it won't happen, and doesn't mean it may not happen in 10 to 15 minutes or so. This is just the type of scenario we'll be in, and we'll have to, there's a good chance we could stay on for the next couple of hours just due to the quick spin up type tornadoes. These pop up, these pop down. Good news, most times when you get the quick spin up tornado types, these only cause minimal damage, usually to trees, things like that. But there is an instance where you can get a strong tornado out of this, and a strong tornado would be denoted as EF2 strength. I'm not saying that's what we have here by any means, but I'm saying it could happen. So here's a look at the latest update. Again, this would be our stronger tornado warning here, Adair and into Delaware counties. This continues to track now northeast of Chewy into Dripping Springs. This is Beckwith. This is Highway 412, and tracking to the east. This is will be north of Chance, but Chance, you still need to be in your safe space. Ballard, Watts, Lake Francis, Siloam Springs. It's slowly moving. Let me see if I can get an updated speed on this, because that would be great if we can. Okay, it looks like we have a new issue of a tornado warning, Latimer, Pittsburgh, and Haskell. Let's go back to the previous tornado warning just so I can get a speed on it, and then we'll go back down to that one. So still moving to the east at 35 miles per hour. So yeah, we're at least going to be here another 30 minutes, if not longer, until this circulation can cross state lines. So let's go back. We got a new tornado warning. Give it a second to reorient itself here. So they did issue downstream for that previous tornado warning that was over in McIntosh County. Let's take a look to see how quickly these are moving. So the new tornado warning for Latimer, Pittsburgh, and Haskell counties goes until 7:30. And this particular storm is moving to the east at 35 miles per hour. So they're all moving quite slow. It looks like they're going to allow the original tornado warning that prompted the one near McIntosh, kind of that northern edge. They're going to allow that to expire, expiring at 6:45, because I haven't seen anything downstream. So let's go down in some of our southern counties here, and we'll take a look at this real quick. Switch to the Fort Smith radar, get a little bit of a better look. not super clean, but likely some rotation near the Crowder area. So that would be now just east of Highway 69. Near Crowder and Canadian, and again, that is moving to the east at about 35 miles per hour. Let me grab a sip of water real fast, but we're going to be watching this. Essentially, we have 3 active tornado warnings. I think they're going to allow the one in McIntosh County to expire. Thank you very much. And we have just a numerous severe thunderstorm warnings along the leading edge as well. So with that being said, we're still tracking the potential threat of up to 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts or quick spin-up tornadoes, and why we are still seeing some of these tornado warnings. So this is a new tornado warning that's been issued. There we go, that looks a little bit better. So this will be near the Crowder area, moving to the east, near Massey Point. So this would be southeast of Crowder, near Massey Point, near Blocker. This is Featherston, Russellville, Quinton, and Quinta, all included in this tornado warning. Close to the tornado warning, I think you should still get into your safe space, would be near Carlton, Hugart there, and Enterprise. You're very close to that tornado warning. This is our circulation of interest that prompted the new tornado warning. Goes past 7 o'clock, so we'll be keeping an eye on that. Essentially, the threat doesn't end for Green Country until this line of storms completely exits the viewing area. Good news, if you're away from this line, then you're going to have no issues heading into work. You may still be dealing with ponding or flooding or some light to moderate showers. But if you're southeast of this line or east of this line, you are still going to be in that threat for wind and quick spin-up tornadoes, as well as that heavy rainfall. Not an overly strong circulation, right? Not as strong. Let's go back to northern Adair, because that was the one of interest. Switch back. Okay, so you can see these are the numerous severe thunderstorm warnings. Okay, they are expiring the McIntosh tornado warning. We knew that was going to happen, so that's great news there. There's no need for them to issue that. That's the one near Shakota and Fame and Texana. That's been allowed to expire. So McIntosh, you're out of the tornado warning. You can get out of your safe space there. We're still dealing with the severe thunderstorm warning for Haskell County until 7 o'clock. And then we're still dealing with the severe thunderstorm warning for Sequoia County until 7 as well. And these severe thunderstorm warnings continue up to the north through Cherokee County until 6:45. And then let's go back up here, because this is still looking quite significant in this Boeing structure there. And let's go to velocity data. Okay, so there we go. It's still moving across. Looks like it may cross closer towards into Delaware County, southern Delaware. It had a slight northeasterly track with it. It wasn't moving due east. This is now closer to Dripping Springs and really bordering across the Delaware Adair County line. So Dripping Springs, Highway 59 is getting closer to you. This is 412. Don't want to be on 412 at this time, especially near Dripping Springs, Ballard, Watts, Lake Francis. Chance, you seem to be on the backside here, so I would still stay in your safe place. You're not too far away. And Chewy, you're on the far western edge of this tornado warning. You're likely going to be cleared very soon. But really the area of interest will be the Dripping Springs area as it continues to track northeast into portions of Delaware County and Cherokee counties as well. Kyle, I know we had Nakoma near Jay. Is he any farther south looking at this? Okay, you lost connection of both streams. No worries there. Thank you for the update. Okay, we've got report of power lines down in Eufaula. And I think that's just going to become the norm as we go forward, as people can finally get out and assess what's been going on. This has been a very strong line of storms that has moved all throughout Green Country from early this morning into our current state. We're getting close to 7 o'clock. We have 2 active tornado warnings in the viewing area, a couple severe thunderstorm warnings that continue to slide east and southeast. So yeah, we're going to be staying on at least for the next 30 minutes, if not longer, and we'll continue to monitor this severe threat until it officially moves out of our viewing area. At least the northern edge is officially into southwest Missouri. So folks in Ottawa County can breathe a sigh of relief. And we're seeing an additional severe thunderstorm warning issued for Delaware and Adair counties, as well as folks in Arkansas. And this would be for 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So we haven't lost that wind threat yet. And that does appear where you have this little bow that's reaching into Highway 59 from Siloam Springs to just south of Watts. That bow could produce 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and then within the bow itself, we are looking at that circulation that's moving right along 412, it appears. So moving out of Dripping Springs on 412, and it looks like it's going to cross near Highway 59 as well. So this is, again, I'd say our most concerning circulation that's at least maintained its strength all across Cherokee, now almost all across Adair counties. But as it moves into Arkansas, we'll see Adair County eventually be dropped from this tornado warning, and you'll be in the clear. Let's go back here to reflectivity. I know we're tracking those 2 tornado warnings, but I'd like to look at just some power outage data as folks are getting out and getting moving this morning. You know, we've got light now. Let's see if we can get any information here. There we go. Of course, we're still in this active severe thunderstorm watch. You can see it does include all of Green Country now. It's going to take a second to load here, so just give me 1 second. So we want to get an update there. So here's a look at some of the power outages. And so far we know Hominy is likely still without power as of this morning, and there's a lot of folks in and around Green Country. So this would be 1,500 customers or individual households. This isn't 1,500 people. These are 1,500 households, businesses, customers, etc. without power in Tulsa County. Osage, we're up to 200. Same with Pawnee. In Creek County, 400. Rogers County, we're up to 900. And about 1,000 in Wagner. So these numbers will likely increase as this line of storms continues to move east and southeast through Green Country as of this time. And I just want to show you real quick, we still are under the severe thunderstorm watch. This goes for all of Green Country now. It's been extended down to the south. And it looks like we have a new tornado warning. So we'll get to that in just a second. There we go. So everybody's in a severe thunderstorm watch at least for the next couple of hours. So keep that in mind. Just because we're in the floor and we haven't seen or heard anything yet doesn't mean you need to, not stay on guard, because these storms are likely heading to your area really soon. All right, we'll start with our northernmost tornado warning, because I think this is getting ready to move out of our viewing area. So we'll hit it one last time. Looks like maybe the area of interest. It's really straddling the Delaware, Adair County lines, moved out of Dripping Springs officially. So now it's heading in towards West Siloam Springs, getting ready to move into Siloam Springs. Lake Francis, Watts, and Ballard just to the south. We may see some gusty winds in between Ballard and Watts as well. And this is getting ready to cross Highway 59 into Arkansas. So we're just going to be hanging on to the circulation just a little bit longer until it can officially clear state lines. Let's go down to the south and we'll take a look at our new tornado warning. Let's go down to the south. Again, any line on these storms can produce up to 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So for folks near Barber, Titanic, Box, just be prepared for those gusty winds. Okay, here are our new tornado warnings. Let's switch over to Fort Smith. I think that's going to give us a little bit of a better vantage point. So we're looking at a circulation near Briartown. This just crossed Highway 2. Highway 2 extends from Briartown into Whitefield, and this would be the circulation that prompted the tornado warning. So that's moving to the east, likely at 35 miles per hour. In the path of this would be Stigler, Garland, Red Hill, and this will continue to track to the east. So Hoyt is just on the west side. Porham is just on the northwest side, but this would be my area of interest. east of Briartown, again, east of Highway 2, and likely that's going to maintain its strength. We haven't had any truthing of, okay, this tornado has been confirmed or anything like this. No ground truthing so far. So these are all radar indicated, but that doesn't mean it can't reach to the ground. And it looks like Featherston, this increased, at least in velocity data. It likely strengthened east of Blocker. This is near Featherston, Russellville, Quinton, Quinta, Center Point, and Patterson. You're all in this tornado warning here. So keep that in mind. Folks near Crowder, remember we had this tornado warning. This circulation started up near Crowder. You're in the clear now. In Canadian near Highway 69, you're in the clear as well. But it's right here. This is a circulation near Blocker, Featherston, heading towards Russellville. So now that we have 3 active tornado warnings, we got to keep in mind there's a lot of folks who are going to be in their safe space as of this time, and likely going to be sitting in there. These storms are only moving to the east at 35 miles per hour, so we're going to have to hunker down in our safe space for a good 30 minutes or longer until that warning is cleared for your area and until that circulation has moved on out. Looks like this may be strengthening some near the Featherston area. Okay, we've got a recent update. It's moved out of Blocker. Likely some strong winds into Russellville. Featherston is likely still over your area at this time. Again, we don't have anything confirmed. We know when things are confirmed, we get the purple polygon. Right now, we just have the red. But this is what we're going to be watching going forward. Looks like some power lines down in Eufaula and McIntosh there. Haven't had any updates, but we're still watching for the threat of tornadoes and damaging wind gusts. So it looks like the northernmost tornado warning, the one heading towards Siloam Springs that was across southern Delaware, northern Adair County, the National Weather Service office in Tulsa does not plan on extending that warning into Arkansas. So good news for the folks who live just right across the border or who have to head that way. It looks like that tornado warning will likely not be issued off to the east. So that would bring us down to only 2 tornado warnings still, 2 relatively strong circulations. This is now moving into more of our southeastern viewing area, if you will. Both of these tornado warnings go, this one near Haskell County goes until 7:15, so it's about another 20 minutes. And then the one for Latimer and Haskell, this would just be to the west as well as Pittsburgh County. That one goes until 7:30. So that one goes for a little bit longer since it still has to clear a few more counties. Looks like we've got a new tornado warning for Sequoyah County, so we're back up to 3 tornado warnings now. Let's take a look. Yeah, this would be a strengthening circulation heading out of Carlisle and getting closer to Vian. This is right along Highway 64. So we have 3 active tornado warnings now, mainly for our eastern and southeastern counties. This is the Carlisle and Vian areas. I would be in your safe space. Let's back this out to see let's get an update on storm motion, because I feel like it's been a while. Okay, tornado warning in Muskogee County has been allowed to be canceled. The one for Sequoyah County is moving east at 50, so that one's increased in speed. So this likely will clear Sequoyah at a pretty rapid pace. And that's why almost all of Sequoyah County has been issued in this. So let's take a look here, and we'll put a tracker on this. I'll do this, and we'll go out as far as we can. Okay. So folks near Dwight Mission, Brushy, Long, Maple, Seven Oaks, Salisaw, a good chunk of about all of Highway 64 here. Harrison, McKee, Blackjack, Muldrow, Remy, Liberty, Long. You all want to be in your safe space as of this time. Highway 59 runs through this, heading into Vian. This is a pretty strong circulation there. Again, we don't have any ground truthing, but that's been strengthening with each update. So we have 3 active tornado warnings now from Sequoyah down south, southwest, and likely this could be a potential tornado. Let's get a highway number on that, because I can't see from Vian up to Box. That would be Highway 82. and we've got I-40 running through that as well. So a little bit of a closer look. This would be Carlisle to Vian. See if we can maybe see any, maybe some debris east of Carlisle. It's hard to tell. Let's go back to shear. So yeah, very strong shear. Again, I'm not surprised because this is just increasing from Carlisle to Vian, likely following along 64 and Highway 40, eventually heading into McKee, Dwight Mission and Harrison. You're going to be kind of on the northern or southern edge of this, and eventually heading up to Salisaw and Highway 59. Let's go back. And this will likely continue to happen. Is what we'll be doing is we'll be watching this entire line, and you know, some of these notches will show up. Let's confirm. Okay, so I would say officially the circulation of interest that was near Delaware and Adair counties, that's out of here. That's cross state lines into Arkansas. So for folks near Adair and Delaware counties, you could stand down. You are in the free and clear now. You're going to be dealing with some heavy rainfall at least for the next 30 minutes, if not longer, and you still may be dealing with some strong winds. So just keep that in mind. Folks in Delaware and Adair counties, you can come up out of your shelter, but we're still going to be dealing with heavy rain, a lot of lightning, and of course some strong winds. This circulation has now moved east. It's across state lines and likely near the Martin to Norwood area. So we're not going to focus up north anymore, especially as this line continues to move east, at least up in the far northern edge and out of our viewing area. We'll go back down south. Okay, it looks like near Vian, they were seeing a little bit of debris, and that's what I was seeing too. So this would be likely some debris being lofted in the air. This is near Vian. Sometimes this can be difficult to see. So the fact that it's showing up on air or on here on our debris tracker does show that this tornado may be on the ground at this time. Again, I don't have official confirmation, but we're at least seeing some debris being lofted in the air near Vian, and that's going to track along I-40 and Highway 64. So again, it's going to be moving towards McKee. This is a potentially strong situation. We're still seeing the tornado warning continue for Sequoyah County. Still moving to the east at 50 miles per hour. Okay. Let's back out of here. Did we get confirmation? I had a feeling we were going to, especially with that lowering. So let's go back. So this is a confirmed tornado for Sequoyah County. We can see that's radar confirmed. And so now if we weren't taking this seriously before, now we really want to take this seriously. So it's just moving out of Vian, heading towards McKee. This will likely maintain some form of an easterly track near Salisaw, Seven Oaks, Aikens, Hanson, Blackjack, Maple, and Long. So if you heard your town names be called out, you want to head to your shelter immediately. This is a confirmed tornado. We're seeing debris lofted in the air, so it could be strong. It started up near Carlisle, moving through Vian, and now getting ready to leave Vian and head over to McKee. Again, a confirmed tornado for Sequoyah County, and this warning goes until 7:30. Let's move a little bit farther south because we haven't been looking at this one lately. Okay, so near the Stigler area, obviously not as strong of a circulation here as what we saw near Vian, but this is still a tornado warning, and this would be the circulation in place. I believe this is Highway 9, so this potential tornado, again, nothing's confirmed near Stigler.